Hey, Mr. Credit here. Okay, let's bury the hatchet on this one forever. Should I co-sign a loan for someone I know? Now, while there are a few exceptions to this rule, the majority of the time, absolutely not. There's just so little good that can come of it, although there is some, potentially. And there's so many bad things that can happen. I always tell people, look, if you get caught in a sticky situation, it's a brother, it's a close friend, something like that, just tell them that Mr. Credit said no, you can't do it. I'll take the blame so you don't have to. Now, what I mean by it could help is that it's possible that co-signing on a loan, especially if you don't have very many accounts in your credit report, can actually help your credit score. It could. It definitely could cause your score to go up having that new fresh account as long as everything's good. But just know there is a significant amount of risk involved. And that is the part that I want you to try to avoid. You see you on the hook there? Co-signer has just as much liability as the primary signer on an account when there's two signers. So you are essentially accepting the full responsibility for that liability. And most people don't know that. They think, oh, well, I'm just a co-signer. No, if you're a co-signer, it's just like you're the signer. And that's where the problem comes in. Everything's good until it isn't anymore. And when it gets bad in this situation, it tends to get really bad because it's something that you're not using or a loan that you didn't want. And when they turn to you and say, hey, you need to pay for it, our other guy ran away, now you're in a really sticky spot. And I don't want you to be in that spot. Here's what you should do. Facts are, most of the time when someone is told that they need to co-sign a loan, they really don't need to. The lending institution is just simply wanting another person to potentially go after if it becomes a collection situation. They don't really need a co-signer. They're just trying to get them to give one up. Don't let that person be you. Tell your friend to check around and try multiple lending institutions while using their own credit report that they pulled through MrCreditRadio.com so that they're not getting hard inquiries every time. That'll let them know that you are more cognizant of credit than they are, and they'll start to take your word for it when you tell them they need to check around and that you can't co-sign because I said not to. And I am completely okay with taking the blame for this situation. As long as you're doing what's best for you, that's what matters. Also, remember, even if you trust them, only co-sign if you have to. I mean, it has to be a very dire situation, and don't obligate yourself to too much. Someone needs you to co-sign on a $3,000 car loan, okay, that's one thing. When someone wants you to co-sign on a $30,000 car loan, you need to be very careful because that can ultimately come back and haunt you for years to come. Any specific questions about this, email me, MrCreditRadio.com. I hope you found this helpful. I appreciate you. We'll see you again soon.